All right, thanks and welcome back into Nine World Chronicles. And today I wanted to talk about the top thunder gods that are out there, in my opinion. And, every culture that I've seen has some representation of the thunder god. It's one of the most common beliefs that I've seen, at least in looking at mythologies from around the world. And the thunder god always plays kind of a similar role. He's the bad dude, man. He's a lot of times associated with war, like a lot of times associated with supreme authority and great weapons. Like there's a lot of them attached to really good weapons as well. But I want to talk about the 9 top thunder gods I see in world mythologies. And the first one is Chaak, and this is the Mayan representation of the thunder god. He's said to be associated with rain, lightning, and storms. He is armed with a mighty lightning axe, and he's known to be able to summon rain to nourish the earth and unleash devastating storms. Farmers prayed to him for bountiful harvests, and he is thus a key figure in the Mesoamerican mythology. Now, next at number 8, I got Lei Gong. And Lei Gong, of course, comes to us from Chinese mythology. And he is known for flying through the air with a hammer, sound familiar, and a drum, accompanied by lightning bolts. He is known as the Thunder Duke, and he punishes evildoers with his thunderbolts and his lightning drum. Often depicted with wings and a fierce face, he is said to ensure cosmic balance in the universe. Now, coming in at number 7, I've got Perun, who is the Slavic version of the thunder god. And he is a god that rules the sky. He's known for hurling lightning bolts at his foes and protecting his people from chaos. That was one of his primary roles. As the chief deity of Slavic mythology, he embodies strength, honor, and bravery. Now, at number 6, man, a very interesting character, Tyrannis, who comes to us from Celtic belief systems. He is represented by a wheel and a lightning bolt, and he is worshipped as the bringer of storms and the protector of his tribe. His influence can be seen throughout Celtic art and monuments even to this day. Now, number 5 is one of my favorites here, and this is Indra, who comes from Hindu mythology. And what he is a god of storms, rains, and lightning. He is armed with the Vajra, which is again a divine thunderbolt weapon. Sound familiar as well? And he is a warrior god. He slays demons and he protects Dharma. He battles with the serpent Vritra at in the height of legendary Hindu mythology. Some great similarities to a couple other thunder gods that we're going to talk about on this list. Now, number 4 is my man, right? And we don't typically think of Set as a thunder god, but that's what he is. He's strongly associated with chaos, and we know this about him. So it's kind of weird. We see some of these thunder gods have association with maintaining order, but Set actually is the one who spreads chaos. He is a god of chaos, storms, and the desert, and he can command storms. He can command lightning strikes. That's an aspect of his personality we don't really talk about, but it's part of what makes him such a fierce warrior. Now, his rivalry with Heru, or Horus as you may know him, is one of the famous cornerstones of Kemetic and Egyptian mythology and shows the level of power that each of those two combatants had. But he did represent the storm and the lightning and at the same time balancing chaos. He also has a very specific weapon, and I'll talk about his weapon in a separate piece. Now, coming in at 3 is probably one of the most popular of the thunder gods, right? This is Thor, the Norse god of thunder. And he is known, man, for thunder, for strength, and for protection. He is tasked with protecting, again, order against the chaotic forces that manifest in Ragnarok. And he fights against a giant snake as well. And in fact, his own in-house brother was a representation of that chaos that he was going to fight against. Now, Thor has obviously made his way into a version of Thor, at least into modern mythology, in a way that the few of others have really captured. But definitely in terms of power and his weaponry, man, he's one of the most fierce warriors on this list. But next we got to get to number 3. And at number 3, man, we're sitting at the top of Mount Olympus, the most famous, I would say, of all the thunder gods. He is the king of the Greeks, the ruler of Mount Olympus, wields thunderbolts, which seems to be a common thing, punishing those who defy him. Not necessarily the ones who are evil, but the ones who defy him, and maintaining order among the gods and the mortals alike. He's one of the most iconic deities on this list. And at number 1, my favorite of all is Shango, right? Sitting on the throne, wielding a double-headed axe with fire and lightning around it. Man, it don't get much colder than that, right? This guy is known for being a god of thunder, fire, and justice. So he's on that side of maintaining order. He's known for having a fiery temper, though, so you don't want to get on the wrong side of Shango, right? But he's a fierce protector. Like, he wants respect for himself and his people. He wants protection. He tells them, as long as you follow order, I will always be here to protect you and make sure that everything is good under my domain. I will always provide that protection. And that's where he is. And he's still venerated strongly to this day, known for not only his physical strength, but also his protection in the spiritual realms. So I know I didn't touch on all the really, really great thunder gods that are out there. We will talk about them in more detail. These are my top 9 when I'm looking at world mythologies. Let me know what your thoughts on this. Give me your input. And as always, hit that like and subscribe.